right, here we go. So we got a couple of World Cup design playthroughs coming through up tonight, and the first one we're gonna do is Te Oakura from Sleepy Panda. So this one, the only specific desired prevailing wind was high winds any direction, so we'll do that. Back tees, high winds make the course play the best, etc. Okay. So we're going to go gold tees, which are the back tees, and pin one. So I believe Panda made his debut back in the CC contest last summer, and also took part in the Dream Team competition for the red team. All right, so we got the big steppe grass there, stretching off into the distance. Okay, so as per usual, I'm playing with a 281 driver, scout cam off, follow cam off, pro difficulty. So we got a central hazard right from the get-go here. Pretty tough to a pretty tough row to hoe here with this big crosswind, but you know the fairway's not unreasonably shallow. Yeah, looks like we're going for, you got the fronting bunkers here, then you got the fall off long if you go that you got to deal with if you go right. So I guess we got to try and go left here. Hey Matt, glad you can make it. Hope you're having a very therapeutic Saturday or Friday evening. All right, so now we got a second shot up the hill here. That's probably the club. And we'll slow it into those greenside bunkers. Oh, we hit the green. So I don't really have anything bad to say about this hole, and it's certainly not the designer's fault. But I feel like I've played this hole like a dozen times in these playthroughs, where you've got like centerline hazard, and then you've got bunkers on one side of a narrow green, and then a steep fall off on the other side. I think I've played this on like almost what feels like every course. It hasn't been every course, but it feels like it. But again, that's not the designer's fault. All right, we'll just baby it down there. We should look around the green a little more too. This kind of has that back right tier that I managed to hit it up onto. Yeah, I think the tough part with this theme is you can see like just the barren stuff in the distance there where the pine trees just stop. I don't think it's not that big a deal. But it's just something I pick up on. All right, here we go. Hole two. Oh, we got ourselves a big old C-shaped green. I think I remember he did this on Kaiwaka. All right. Hopefully the 4-iron gets back there. All right, we have managed to go pin high with that one. We've got a fall off at the back of the green. Yeah, just kind of front to back. I don't know if you can really get how accessible that pin is given how far back it is, and it was playing into the wind for me, but because you've got a front to back slope and because of the shape of the green, I guess you can use that red slope to kind of steer it back there. So yeah, there probably is a play you can make. Looks like we got like some white sand dunes in the background there. Oh, we nail an ocean liner. So I see how the fringe right on the front left edge of the green there. Um, you can see it right in the middle of that shot there. There is a little bit of burned texture running right up to the fringe texture. Um, so usually around your fairways and greens and stuff, um, it's good to lay down a little heavy rough brush, just a teeny bit, so that you don't have the burned out texture going right up against the lush green grass of your fairway or green. Okay, so we got a par 5 into the wind. Looks like it's forced carry to an elevated green. So in this wind, I mean, with my clubs, this is pretty much a three-shotter, I would think. It is downhill a bit, though. I'm curious if he did anything with the fairway camber. Yeah, looks like a reasonably straightforward tee shot. It looks like it's just into an upslope here, so yeah, I've got 286 in, so forget that. I think we just got to hit a hybrid here. Just kind of land it short of the green there. Yeah, I kind of feel like this hole just presupposes that everyone uses the 295 driver. Um, for the clubs I was using, I didn't really have to. I don't think I had to do a whole lot. Just kind of bash a driver hybrid down there. Hey, how's it going, Christian? I think we managed to hit it close. We got the cutscene fist pump. Yeah, so I guess this is, I mean, the way this green is contoured, it looks like it's pretty much. you can't really get to those front pins, I wouldn't think. The sculpting along the water looks pretty nice. Um, yeah, I'm curious how it plays when you got the pin up front there, and if it's playing downwind. Because it's basically all carry and then it's a front to back green. It looks like you can use the slopes on the right to kind of steer it into some of the pins, to be sure. But I don't know. There's no real angle play to make on that hole, I don't think. All right. So at number 4, we got some more centerline hazards. It's a short par 4, downwind. I think we'll just kind of bash a driver up there and see what kind of pitch we get. Ah, we ran out of fairway. Okay, I feel like we've been seeing quite a few of these front to back greens. Um, Clearly, it's designed to, if you bail left, that gives you an odd angle. I don't know if you necessarily have all that much more room to bail left though. So since it's so close, it's like why not just go right? I didn't really consider going left at all there. So maybe you could perhaps make the fairway bunker smaller and just kind of make the left side of your fairway a little wider, perhaps. But yeah, I think so far, the bunker sculpting looks pretty good. Usually, I'm not a huge fan of. It looks like you've mixed in a few different grasses here, so that's good. You don't just have the steppe grasses. You got some of those ones with the little white things on them. Because I think sometimes you see people they go in all in on grass and they just have one kind of grass the whole way, and it just you're absolutely sick of it by the end of the round. Okay, so now we're playing some cliffside golf. All right, so it's very narrow, and then it widens way out if you're a big hitter. Which, I'm not one of those. I'm definitely not like a proponent of just pinching it down for the long hitters just to pinch it down. But pinching it for a short hitter, I don't know, kind of feels a little punitive. Like, what if I don't know, like give the short hitter a chance to kind of play further right. But I mean, this is definitely a three-shot hole all day for me. Again, like I'm not one of those guys who's gonna complain that I can't hit a fair par 5 and 2 for sure. Um, as long as it's just give me something to think about, you know. If I just kind of mindlessly go driver 3 wood, and all I really have to care about is how long is my third shot, then it's, that's, in my opinion, not ideal. So yeah, it looks like kind of, I feel like here my play is kind of obvious. It's just, plunk one down into this wide area. And hopefully the wind brings it back a little more. All right. Again, looks like a really interesting hole if you hit the ball really far. Um, and to be fair, I'll certainly, I think I'm gonna when I judge courses, I'll try the big driver too, but um, I think there's something to be said for making sure it plays. You don't design for just one length of drive. Okay. So, yeah, you've kind of got this direct line where you can land it on that little peninsula. Cliffs look really good. Um, let's see. We've kind of got a fall off over there on the right. Nice restrained use of the fencing, right? It's only guarding the path where you're walking to the next tee. I can criticize fence use. I'll also praise it when it deserves it. Um, yeah, okay. You kind of got this big hump in the front of the green there that you got to deal with if you're coming in from the left. You might have considered accentuating that a little bit. Since I was coming in with a wedge, you can kind of get over it, though you do have a downhill lie. Okay, so we got another diagonal tee shot. All right, I think we got to aim at the. I think that's our bunker right there that we're aiming at. And then you got. If you're a big hitter, you can. This wind might make this feasible, but I don't really think it's probably not worth it. I mean, you do get a better angle into the green, but not gonna chance it. And I'm probably gonna run out of fairway. No, not quite. Not quite. But we do have some blindness to deal with. Hmm. Curious about that bunker out on the right there. Okay, so this, yeah, just kind of is what it is, right? It's maybe in play if you miss the fairway and you got to kind of chop it up the fairway. So if you want an angle in there, you got to play towards it. We got a bit of a two-tiered green from left to right. But yeah, you know, it's sound design. Ah. But yeah, I mentioned it before, but I think you did a nice job with the cliffs. Step cliffs are probably the best. Okay, so now we're turning inland. So now let's see how you do without the cliffs to inject drama. So we got a long par 3, diagonal green. Ah, didn't give the wind enough respect. I might have scaled back the grass planting on these bunkers just because there's not that much space between the bunker and the green. It just feels like a lot of growth crammed into a tiny little space. Anyway, the green itself has, you know, you've got little feeder slopes you can use, so I mean, I think that works for a par 3 of its length. Maybe, especially if you're setting winds to high, maybe give us a little more room at the front of the green there to kind of bounce some shots in there. You know, like maybe just give us a little more room on the left to use that kicker slope. Looks like you mostly stuck to the fir trees, I believe. All right, now we got the blind shot. This feels like this fairway maybe feels a little bit narrow to have on a blind tee shot like this. I mean, I think this looks, you know, the fronting bunker here looks cool. But give me a little more space, I think. Um, you know, I think you might even be able to like try like a big double fairway here, right, with that one, because that's kind of bailing out on either shot. So I think I need to aim just a little bit left of the pin to let the wind bring it back. Yeah, I think it. Yep, that found. Oh, I didn't. I aimed too far left. Okay. But yeah, I'd say if you're gonna go with a blind shot, give me a little more room. So now we've got a bad angle. I'll admit I'm just doing kind of a hit and hope here. I think we found the green. Oh, did we ever? All right, we got some more kicker slopes with a back right shelf. Yeah, we could watch that again. Oh man, we just barely landed it far enough. Oh man, I just totally destroyed that. All right, now we got a nice downhill tee shot with a really wide fairway. Yeah, so this kind of feels like it kind of feels more like this fairway belonged on the last hole. Very interesting because the green's got all kinds of short grass around it and the fairway is extremely wide. I mean, it looks like I kind of have a little more stuff to flirt with over here. I wonder if it's just kind of depends on where the pin is. I don't know. It is downhill, so I think it's for a long driver that probably pinches down a bit. It's great to hear, Adam. Looking forward to it. Okay, so we kind of got a little blindness to deal with here. Yeah, kind of a punch bowl green. There's the clubhouse. Very modern looking. All right, off to the back nine. So again, so we got a really, really long green here. Short par four. Downwind. So it looks like you can kind of play up onto this shelf on the left, or you can play towards the water on the right. Or you can kind of lay back on, deal with a likely side hill lie. Just curious to see what this plays on the scorecard. 332. All right. I think we'll try and see if we can place a hybrid up on top of the hill there. Yeah, it's a little tough off to the left there because you got the trees framing the hole, but then you can see beyond it and there's just nothing. Okay, so we're playing on this little rumpled fairway. Severe fall off right. Now we're kind of in between clubs here. We got an uphill lie, so I don't think a lob wedge is going to be enough. Oh yeah, judged perfectly. Let's catch that ball in flight. Okay, let's look at the green. We've got a little backboard there. I think the transition from red to green is a little abrupt. It looks a little unnatural. I think if you just do a little bit of raising kind of on the edge of the red with a soft brush just by a few inches, that would help. And then you'd probably want to lower the rough outside the green a bit too, just to make that look a little more natural. And then I think your fall off area here, it looks kind of manufactured. Like if you compare that rumpled look of the fairway I was just hitting off of, and then this chipping area looks very engineered. Right? It doesn't I don't know if it really fits with how the rest of your fairways look. Okay. 3-shot par 5. So that's 3 I've played. This one's kind of relying on the great hazard concept. But yeah, I feel like I've been into the wind on most of the par 5s. I definitely was on number 3. 5 I can't remember, but I couldn't reach it in 2 anyway. And I am on 11. Curious to see how 18 is going to play, because that's 591 as well. So yeah, I think I'll just bunt a couple 3-woods down there. Yeah, because I wasn't going to get over. I wasn't going to get over in 2 anyway, so. Yep, we'll just. Okay. Hole looks good. Oh, geez. That did not feel like a very fast. I think this might be work a little better because like you see how this is contoured, like it's just gonna if you just carry the pit there, your ball's gonna get kind of rejected. I think once you make the carry, it'll trundle over. I don't know. You play tested it, so you might know better than me. But definitely if it works such that if you can just kind of make the carry and then kind of let it trickle down next to the hole, that's pretty cool. We almost managed to miss in the short one after we were dead weight from about 100 feet. Alright, so now we got a generous fairway that kind of narrows down a bit in the landing area. Reasonably straightforward tee shot. Although, yeah, it looks like I kind of shied away from the bunker, so now I'm going down the angle of the green, but I got the ball above my feet, so oh, that was a terrible play. I totally didn't aim far enough left. But we get to check out the grass. And we're kind of dead from over here. I think you've maybe overdone it a little bit with the greens benched into hillsides. You've had a number of other ones that don't fit into this, where you've got some that are kind of like in little punch bowls, others that are maybe slightly less so. But I feel like there's been a lot of side to side greens with a swale on one side. No, it didn't run out as much as I thought it would. Okay, so this really gets super tight down there. So I think that's where you got to play if you're going to hit driver. So I think I'll try and just aim at the bunker, let the wind take it left. Ah, we almost made it. Now the screen kind of looks, at least with the shape, it kind of looks like Oakmont number 5. 5 at Oakmont with the little pocket here. You got to fall off going into heavy rough though, which I don't necessarily like. You probably could have just flattened that a little bit. Alright, now we kind of got like a roughly a normal sized fairway here. Long par 4 into the wind. Uphill lie. This might not be enough, but a 3-wood's going to be too much. Ah, we made the bunker. Yep, so kind of we got another green benched into a hillside. With the bailout area on one side. But yeah, definitely the angle you want is from the right next to that bunker. You gotta do a little partial splash here somehow. Alright, ugly but effective. Alright, now we got a long par 3. Ooh, looks like it falls off on the right. I'm curious what the green contours do. Into the wind, so I think I gotta bash a 3-wood here. I think I'll aim it kind of at the pin and let the wind bring it back to the right. Well, it's taking some kind of slope. Yeah, we got an inside 15 feet. So this looks a little bit like the sort of a mirror image of what was that par 3 on the front. This one's like 40 yards longer, but it does feel a little similar in terms of how it plays. I mean, it looks very different because this one's on the cliff and the other one's not. Well, we'll take a 2 there. Alright, 16 now we just kind of pinch in here. This one's got the nice lighting. Alright, then we got a little wedge in here. Obviously the wind's making this play pretty short. Looks like we kind of got like a mega false front there. Yeah, so that front pin there is probably pretty fun. Got a big shoulder on the right side of the green. And then there's kind of like a back funnel there. I know my game's starting to chug a little bit. Makes putting hard, but it's we can see it through. So is that the clubhouse that's behind us? I know we have a par 5, but I guess we're really gonna have to really got a long ramble back to the clubhouse on 18, I guess. Okay, so we got a short par 3, gigantic green, semi-blind. Hmm. So we kind of got like a front, you kind of got a thumbprint there in the front. You got a shoulder kind of coming in the back there. A very slight runoff area at the back. But yeah, I thought maybe this green would have a little more to it though for how big it is. I thought maybe there'd be some bolder contours. I mean, you know, it's not a pancake by any means. Okay, we got our downwind par 5. Hooray. So it looks like, yeah, you just want to, if you can carry that, that's what you want to do. I think we'll just kind of aim at the left edge of the bunker there and let the wind bring it to the right a little. Okay, so very reachable. We got to deal with the swale there because we couldn't make that carry. I think that feels maybe a little extreme. It was like 325 or something, I want to say. So it looks like our play is to kind of, I think we got to run something up the face of the slope there and get the kick just right. If we use a 3-wood, we're going to airmail everything. So let's try the hybrid. And we pulled it. Oh, I think it did land up top though. Yeah, so we went with the benched green one more time. This one has 3 tiers. Ooh. All right. So I really dug the environment with this course. I think my only kind of environmental critique would be that kind of the off-course areas looked, completely devoid of trees, and then you had a whole bunch of trees kind of like on the borderline of the course. Maybe something a little less of an abrupt transition between those two environments might have been good, but I thought the planting scheme didn't really wear on me at all um, when I thought it might, because you do stick to that kind of fir trees and steppe grass motif throughout the round. But yeah, the environment was really good. A lot of very pretty holes. I mentioned the cliffside holes were really good because your sculpting work there was really good. A few of the par fives were a little monotonous because I'm not a bomber, and they were playing into the wind. So it was just kind of bash to go bet driver 3-wood wedge without giving it a whole lot of thought. Um, and I did mention you kind of use that benched green site with a fall off on one side. You probably could have used that a few less times. I thought the greens where you didn't do that, the green sites where you didn't do that were good though. I thought that par five with the kind of the great hazard area with the green up in a little like a raised punch bowl. I thought that was pretty neat. Um, so yeah. Um, I think we'll wrap it there. Thanks for the course, Sleepy. And I'm gonna stop things briefly, refill my wine, and start a new separate stream for the next course. So I'll be back in a second.